that Kenya will fulfill this pledge with an additional $1 million to demonstrate our support for the Sudanese people. Finally, we urge all external actors supporting the warring parties to refrain from actions that further endanger the lives and future of the Sudanese people. As members of the African Union and the United Nations, we must uphold the fundamental principles of respect for territorial integrity, national sovereignty, and good neighborliness in our pursuit for lasting peace and stability in the Sudan. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your thoughtful remarks. Next, we are privileged to hear from His Excellency, Sheikh Shahbout bin Nahyan Al Nahyan. His commitment to humanitarian efforts has been unwavering, and we look forward to his valuable insights and contributions to this critical dialogue.
Your Excellency, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, Your Excellency, Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency Antonio Guterres, Your Excellency Musa Faki, and Your Excellency Wokni. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, co-hosts, good morning to you all. I am and prosperity. Honorable ministers, distinguished heads of international and regional organizations, members of the diplomatic community, invited guests. I warmly welcome you to this high-level conference on the humanitarian situation in the Sudan. Allow me to extend my gratitude to the United Nations for its cooperation on this collective effort that brings us together today. I also appreciate the briefers for sharing critical insights into the needs on the ground. This high-level gathering underscores our shared recognition of the urgency of Sudanese humanitarian crisis and reaffirms our collective responsibility to respond decisively and with purpose. As a close neighbor and sister nation, Ethiopia stands in solidarity with the people of Sudan. During these challenging times, our two countries are deeply interdependent, bound by generations of shared struggles, aspirations, and cultural ties. Over the past 6 years, Ethiopia has actively supported Sudanese peace and stability and contributed to its economic endeavors by providing electricity through a dedicated transmission line. Sudan is a nation of abundance, blessed with fertile land and natural resources, capable of feeding millions beyond its borders. In times of relative peace, it has witnessed significant development and growth. However, since April 2023, conflict has inflicted immense suffering, causing widespread displacement and destruction. We are here today because Sudan's humanitarian needs have reached an unprecedented scale. This crisis is not just Sudanese. It is a regional and a global concern, impacting lives, livelihoods, and stability across the Horn of Africa and beyond. Global solidarity is essential to ensure the Sudanese people receive food, clean water, basic health care, including vaccines, and medicines, and protection against violence. As the holy months of Ramadan approach, urgent action is required, not just in words, but through tangible commitments to elevate suffering. Ethiopia will continue to stand with Sudan in its time of need, sharing from our limited resources and maintaining an open door policy for Sudanese seeking refuge. We urge donors, international organizations, and the private sector to increase their contributions and help bridge the severe resource gap faced by humanitarian actors. Despite our own challenges, we firmly believe that a neighbor in need is a neighbor indeed. Therefore, Ethiopia pledges a modest contribution of 15 million USD in solidarity with the people of the Sudan. Beyond this immediate assistance, the crisis demands an urgent political solution, as peace is a foundation for lasting recovery. We call upon all stakeholders to intensify efforts toward dialogue and a peaceful resolution. Having had the honor of supporting Sudan's peace process in 2019, I can personally attest to the wisdom and resilience of the Sudanese people. With determination and coordinated effort, Sudan's trajectory can be reversed toward peace. On this basis, I urge all Sudanese stakeholders to choose peace and guide their nation toward unity and prosperity. Ethiopia fully supports a Sudanese-led, Sudanese-owned, and inclusive peace process. We also endorse the African Union Commission and the UN Secretary General's efforts to streamline initiatives and establish a single, effective platform for peace in Sudan. I commend our partners, the African Union, IGAD, the UN, and the UAE for their collaboration in hosting this conference. I also would like to extend my gratitude to my dear brother, Dr. William Ruto, for taking time and gracing this important summit. I also extend my gratitude to all stakeholders, prioritizing Sudan and pledging resources to support its humanitarian efforts. I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for those profound and inspiring words. It is also my honor to invite His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, Your Excellency Antonio Guterres, Your Excellency Shabut, Your Excellency Musa Faki, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. The conflict in Sudan, now in the 22nd month, has devastated a nation that just 4 years ago was on a promising path towards stability and self-sufficiency. Tragically, Sudan's progress towards food security, once exemplified by record wheat harvests and sugarcane plantations, some of which I had the occasion to visit when I served as Minister for Agriculture. All that has been reversed, leaving over half the population of Sudan food insecure and millions at the brink of hunger. This crisis is worsened by the massive displacement of millions, with an estimated 11 million people forced to flee their homes. The collapse of healthcare systems, the spread of preventable diseases, and the deterioration of medical infrastructure have further deepened humanitarian emergency. The crisis' regional impact is equally severe as neighboring countries are struggling with overstretched social services due to the growing refugee crisis. This situation demands urgent regional and global intervention. Any discussion of the humanitarian crisis in Sudan must acknowledge that this is a man-made disaster. It is deeply regrettable that the dire humanitarian situation in Sudan stems from a political crisis that has escalated into prolonged and senseless armed conflict. The obstruction of humanitarian access by parties to the conflict is simply unacceptable. We call upon all involved to facilitate unrestricted access for humanitarian convoys and healthcare workers, and to allow the resumption of agricultural activity in areas under their control. Your Excellencies, our presence here today reaffirms our unwavering solidarity with the people of Sudan. It is incumbent upon all of us, member states and people of goodwill, alike to support ongoing efforts towards a peaceful resolution while addressing the urgent humanitarian needs of those affected by this conflict, especially women and children. Only through collective commitment and decisive action can we help restore stability and hope for a peaceful future in Sudan. Kenya continues to urge the warring parties to recognize that a military solution, if any, will not and has never brought sustainable peace. We encourage all Sudanese stakeholders to commit to a political resolution through genuine and inclusive dialogue. We continue in Kenya to provide a platform for different actors, political groups, civil society groups, to forge agreement, consensus on the way forward. And as a steadfast advocate for peace, Kenya, alongside IGAD, remains fully prepared to support and facilitate efforts towards a negotiated settlement. It is also imperative that we work together to alleviate the suffering of our Sudanese brothers and sisters. At the Humanitarian Pledging Conference for Sudan held in Paris in April 2024, Kenya pledged $1 million to support humanitarian efforts in Sudan. I am pleased to reaffirm that Kenya will fulfill this pledge with an additional $1 million to demonstrate our support for the Sudanese people. Finally, we urge all external actors supporting the warring parties to refrain from actions that further endanger the lives and future of the Sudanese people. As members of the African Union and the United Nations, we must uphold the fundamental principles of respect for territorial integrity, national sovereignty, and good neighborliness in our pursuit for lasting peace and stability in the Sudan. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your thoughtful remarks. Next, we are privileged to hear from His Excellency, Sheikh Shahbout bin Nahyan Al Nahyan. His commitment to humanitarian efforts has been unwavering, and we look forward to his valuable insights and contributions to this critical dialogue.
Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed, Your Excellency Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency Antonio Guterres, Your Excellency Musa Faki, and Your Excellency Wokni. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, co-hosts, good morning to you all. I am honored to welcome you all to this high-level humanitarian conference for the people of Sudan. I would like to express my most sincere appreciation to our co-hosts, Ethiopia, the African Union, the IGAD, for their partnership in this critical conference. Your Excellency Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Ethiopia, your leadership knows no bounds. Thank you for bringing us together. To the very first humanitarian conference in 2005 for the people of Sudan and for the first of its kind in the continent. From here, many more platforms will be mobilized to address the dire situation in Sudan. President Ruto, thank you for your remarks. Excellencies, for nearly 2 years, we have witnessed one of the world's gravest humanitarian catastrophes unfold in Sudan. The crisis demands not just our attention, but our immediate and collective action. The presence of such a diverse audience this morning sends a very powerful message. The situation in Sudan must be addressed and will be addressed together. In 2 weeks, the Muslim world will welcome the blessed holy month of Ramadan. During this sacred time, all parties need to respect the sanctity of these days and accept a humanitarian pause. This would not only reflect the spirit of mercy and compassion that Ramadan embodies, but also provide a critical opportunity to ease the immense suffering of the Sudanese people, most of whom are women and children. This conference will ensure that humanitarian organizations have the resources to provide aid to the Sudanese people during this holy month. Since April 2023, the UAE has provided over $400 million to Sudanese people in Sudan and neighboring countries who have so warmly welcomed Sudanese refugees. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to the people of Sudan by announcing an additional $200 million in humanitarian funding. This support reflects our unwavering solidarity since the last decade alone. We have stood by our brothers and sisters in Sudan with $3.5 billion
you.